Oh, fuck. What the hell is this? What's that? Oh. All right, guys, the day has come. The long bed swap is beginning. We just got the truck in here. We've got tow behind air compressor, sandblaster. We're gonna pull the cab, get it up on the lift, bring the frame up into the yard, and sandblast the whole frame. So basically, what, Derek? We're pulling the radiator, drain the coolant, pull the radiator, disconnect some lines. We'll tell you guys everything that we're doing as we go. So you know, maybe you can do this yourself if you want. But the first step, we're pulling the cab, and we will keep you guys updated as we go along. All right, guys, so we're making a good bit of progress. We've got the intercooler, or the radiator support off here. We're figuring out, we've never done it on this truck before, so we're figuring out how to get the radiator out. It's quite a bit different, quite a bit more of a bitch than my first gen. So we just got to find all the bolts and get it out. We've got the hoses disconnected. We've got the intercooler pipes out. We've got the air box out. Quite a few plugs still we got to take out. And kind of figuring out as we go along, seeing what's gonna be connected where, and anything pretty much connected between the cab and the motor, or the cab and the frame, needs to be disconnected on one end or another. So it's going well. Let's see, is there anything that's worth mentioning that may not?
Well, we gotta get the cab bolts, obviously.
Yeah, we gotta.
That's a
cab
later.
bolts,
They're down.
Right at the end.
Cab bolts down here, as you can see. Where are they at?
Are there 6?
6 or 8. There's that one, and they go back. As you can see, I think there's 6 or 8 of them.
Yeah, so it's coming along well. Batteries come out, obviously.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll give you guys another update as we get further along. A few tips here for the radiator. There's 2 bolts on the shroud underneath, which are very similar to these 2 nuts, exactly like this on the bottom. You pull those out. Obviously, just like 2 bolts for this, 2 bolts for this, 2 bolts for the intercooler. The intercooler lifts up. We pulled, well, first of all, we pulled the rad support, like we said. 2 bolts in here come off the rad support. And then
now we're pulling the heat exchanger.
Yeah, and then 2 bolts, one on each side, one here,
exchanger,
one right here,
yep,
and one that we haven't gotten yet.
Yep, right there.
Right there.
The other bolt.
So you pull them, and then this piece of the shroud right here lifts out with the radiator, and then this piece you get out once these things are out. So you get all that stuff off. You kind of gotta make sure you're not catching on anything on the radiator, and then it should lift right out.
All right, so we got the cab somewhat in the air. Hey. Grant's up there on the valve cover, trying to get these
last plugs
out. We're hoping before the cab comes in the air. So he's up there, and we got Justin down here, not doing too much, but so you got the cab mostly up. You got all 8 cab mounts out.
Don't break the plugs.
Yeah, don't break your plugs, and
good luck.
Check any wires going to your tranny, anything on the motor.
Parking brake cables.
Parking brake cables, anything that is a...
Disconnect the steering shaft from the yoke at the bottom.
Yeah, disconnect the steering shaft from the 10mm bolt through the yoke on the power steering. No, on the steering box instead of the 13mm about halfway up the shaft. So instead of taking it off right here.
Yep.
Disconnect it from right here. It's a 10 mil, not the 13 up there, and it should slide right off.
Might take a little prying.
Yeah, we had to use a pry bar, and it came right off.
Alright guys, as you can see, we've got the cab completely disconnected. Not too bad of a job. Took us about 5-6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours.
We went to lunch, whatever.
Yeah, so about 6 hours. Not too bad. There's a few things on the passenger side of the motor. There's like barely any wires you got to disconnect. We disconnected a bunch of extra shit, but 99% of it is just on the driver's side of the motor. So get that wiring harness disconnected, and pretty much everything else you should be fine to leave, but definitely be careful as you're lifting the cab up. Make sure you're not pulling on anything. But yeah, cab's off, and you can see we got this beautiful 3rd gen stripped right down. More stripping to come. We're
so where are we cutting it? Right here?
Yeah, we'll be cutting it right here, and refabricating essentially more of these male-female joints to pull it back so that it'll look like a factory frame. We've got what is that? A single cab long bed rear frame section, as well as the long bed. So we're gonna cut that up and make something so it looks real nice. Gonna be strong, hopefully. Yeah, so right now we're prepping it. We're gonna plug up all the holes on the motor, anything where sand could get in, and we're gonna blast the frame and start cutting. All right, guys, thought I would take this opportunity to show you a better view of the white gauge lights that I got in this thing. We're on our way up to my buddy's shop where the 3rd gen is right now, and we're gonna get started. Today is pretty much just sandblasting day, so we're gonna seal up everything that needs to be sealed up on the 3rd gen. We're gonna drop the tank out of this, and strip the rear half of this frame, sandblast it, both frames, and get them ready to be coated, and get some a new bed on this one and a long bed swap on the 3rd gen. So I'll see you guys at the shop. All right, guys, got the frame. We've got everything covered up. My truck's getting prepped next. We got the air compressor going, sandblaster set up. We're gonna start at the back, work our way forward right about where the plastic ends. We're gonna stop because it's real clean up there, but yeah, we'll show you the progress as we go along. All right, had a couple of setbacks getting that sandblaster set up, but we're on the road. We're doing good now. That shit is really, really loud. But yeah, so he's giving it hell, and hopefully we're gonna get that all sandblasted and get the cab set on it today so we can move it outside, because we can't work on it again until next weekend. So we'll keep you guys up to date, and keep watching. All right, we're watching him from up on the hill here, getting her done. He's about probably halfway there, and then we're gonna start stripping down the 1st gen and hit that too. All right, guys, we got both frames blasted. We're bringing my gas tank up right now in the beater Jetta. It's about to stall out, but this is a perfect time to shout out our other channel. It's called Last Breath Beaters. We do some just stuff for fun, beating this car up. All jokes, nothing serious, but go check it out. This is our channel for the nice stuff, and this is our goof around channel. So Last Breath Beaters, go check it out. All right, guys, we are pretty beat.
Yeah.
Pretty dirty.
Pretty dirty.
But we got it done, and I'll show it to you, take you through how it went. All right, so we got her all blasted off, pretty much as good as we have to. We didn't go crazy with it. Still have some, you can see there, that's all taped up. We still got everything on the motor. Rags and bags, man. And duct tape. Got everything sealed up, so we gotta take all that off. And this is probably gonna do it for part 1 we're gonna, next weekend, when we have time, we're going to, what are we doing next weekend? Yeah, cutting. So, cut it up. Well, measure it, cut it, pull it back, add some in, and weld it up. So, put the new drive shaft in probably. Yeah, we're gonna do an oil pan while it's out, so we can show you guys some stuff of that. We can walk over here, take a look at the first gen. Had an unfortunate accident with the first gen, but it's all right. We are gonna get it fixed. I'll show you. You might be able to spot it already. So that's not cool. That's my bad. I should have put some cardboard over it or something, but didn't even hit it directly, just this blowback. You can see, clean this bed liner off real nice, which is nice because I wanted to get rid of it anyways. But we got this one real spick and span. And next weekend, if we've got enough time after we do everything, we might coat them. Got to see how it goes. Yeah, this one can be coated at any time. And then we're going to throw the factory bed on. So, yeah, I think that is about everything. We're probably going to end this video right here. And this will be part 1. Part 2 be everything else we just mentioned. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Maybe if you've done this before, give us some tips so we can have an easier time next weekend. But other than that, just tell us what you thought, and we'll see you in the next video.